Hello, you dirty potters. How are you today? Much like last year, I am making a part 2 to the 5 things most potters want for Christmas. The high majority of you who have potter friends or are potters yourselves probably don't know what to get for Christmas, but these are things that I have found helpful in the studio for me personally, and I find that a lot of other potters in the ceramic art world like them as well. So we're gonna start off with the 5 top things that I think either you should get yourself or that you should get that beautiful potter friend for Christmas that has already clicked like and subscribe on my channel. How dare you not do that?
Where's your Santa hat?
My what?
It is a Christmas video. You're legally obligated to wear a Santa hat.
A Santa hat?
Yeah.
I don't remember the Santa hat. You don't have to go get the Santa hat.
I'll find one.
I don't have any in the she found the Santa hat.
You are required to be Christmas stuff. I think you have a big
Put
head.
it on my head if you're gonna put it on.
I think you have a big head.
You didn't put it on correctly, you just blinded me with it. So here in my hand, I have the 5 things that I think every potter could benefit from having. And it's not even a potter thing, to be honest with you. It's a ceramic artist thing in general, but these are the 5 things that I think would go a long way for most potters. Christmas is just an excuse to get them, to be honest with you. Number 1, I know I said this last year and I'm gonna say it again this year. If you didn't see the previous episode, which I will link down below for you, you should get the potter that you know a clay apron. I am so gonna push this year. I pushed it last year and I'm gonna push it next year. Where'd you get boba from? How come I don't have boba? The frick? If you have a potter friend who's a beginner in pottery especially, they're just putting like old Starbucks or Jamba Juice aprons on themselves from their old job if they did work those jobs, or they put a towel on their lap to make sure that they don't get dirty throughout the day in their classes. It would be such a flex and so functional if you just got them for Christmas a clay apron. They're fairly inexpensive. This one here cost me like 30 bucks and I have the official one. Like on my shirt, it says Claypern on it. I know for sure there are companies out there that don't make the Claypern brand, they just make clay aprons, and clearly they're trying to copy the Claypern brand. And these ones go all the way down. Hold on, and these ones go all the way down my legs. So it's not like a towel or anything like that, where they just kind of protect up here. This is a very strange thing to do. They don't just protect right here.
They protect your legs instead of just your crotch.
Exactly. These things are really inexpensive, and the thing that I like about them is that they're very passive. It's not some new tool you have to learn how to use. It's not some new thing you have to put time into. There's no upkeep to it. You just gotta wash it once in a while, and it kind of does its own work by itself, as long as you wear it while you're throwing. I only mention this point because there's so many things that you get a potter that you're like, yeah, I got you this thing. You're probably gonna have to learn how to use that, to be honest.
But just make sure you get the one that's split in the middle.
Yeah, there's some that just kind of like tie in the middle right here instead of being individual chaps.
Or just one full piece.
Thing number 2 on the list is a better set of tools. Now last year, I told you guys about this tool here. This tool usually comes in the beginner package of pottery tools, like every single person who's a beginner potter. After that, you're probably gonna upgrade to the black carbon steel Kemper tools. They look just like this. They're relatively inexpensive, a little bit more expensive than the beginner package.
I don't know if they can see.
They probably can't see it, but don't worry, the editor will probably put a picture of it on screen. I'm the editor. These black carbon steel Kemper tools are kind of the upgrade to the beginner package tools that you would see in a beginner package. There is a step above this, of course, which is the Mud Tools trim tool. It's a multi-trim tool and it's made of almost the same material. It's also black carbon steel. You can sharpen it yourself. It lasts a very long time. These are all the tools that I suggested last year.
Why is my butt the storage spot?
I mean, that's where I like to put stuff. There is an upgrade to this though. This is very nice. Don't get me wrong. I love me some Mud Tools trim tool. This thing costs about 20 bucks. But the upgrade to this, they make trim tools, they make carving tools. I love this company. I'm gonna buy myself some probably next year because I don't have any. I'm not like a huge carver or anything.
So you remember that part of the year where I asked you what you wanted for Christmas and you didn't say shit?
I just don't want you to spend money on me because I love you.
I'm gonna spend money on you regardless.
Okay, well I want diamond core stuff. I don't have a set of these tools myself, but I do have a friend that has a set of these tools and she let me use them one time. You have no idea the difference in between having the beginner package, upgrading to the Kemper tools, upgrading to the mud tools, and then reaching the ultimate god level digivolve to mega form of the diamond core tools that trim your clay. These things cut like butter, they last for a way longer time. As you get higher up the scale of crafting, you're gonna end up just buying stuff that's high quality and lasts a really long time, but you're not gonna keep on buying this regular old trim tool from the beginner's pottery pack. And you can buy them, granted, you can buy them like $5 at a pottery store or on certain pottery sites, but like, you could buy a bunch of those for your lifetime, or you can just buy a set of diamond core trim tools. That being said, they are really expensive. A set of 4 of these things will run you about $150, and I bet that's without shipping right there. So just
$139 for most of their sets.
one of these things by themselves will cost you about $37, but if you're really going for gold and you want to make sure your potter friend really loves you, just buy him a set of 4 or 6. It's granted, it's going to cost you quite a big amount. It's going to cost you about 200 Magikarp Slackbaroonies right there. One of the major selling points of these tools right here is that you can put those weird pencil grip things we all used in elementary school and kindergarten on the tools themselves, and they sell replacements for them, and they sell them in different sizes. They're supposed to be super ergonomic, they're supposed to be super nice, super personal just for you, and they cut like butter. I tell you what, after using one of these, I didn't go back. Once you go diamond core, you don't go back. Shut up, I know it didn't rhyme. They are also extremely expensive. One of their tools will cost you around about 20 or 30 bucks last time I checked. Their Facebook page is constantly advertising their tools. They look beautiful. They even come with these little grips that make it comfortable to carve for you. I love them. Honestly, I'm gonna get myself a pair and then put them in the corner and use them maybe about once a month, because then I would just be that guy who carves everything. But these tools are like the final upgrade to all the trim and carving tools that you'll probably
Are you alright?
I'm burping. These are like the final upgrade to all the trim tools that you'll probably ever need. Granted, the edge lasts a very long time, but they're a little bit more delicate than the mud tools trim tool. The mud tools trim tool I could like throw off in the corner and it's probably not gonna break. I've heard of the diamond core tools breaking if you know, like you clearly can't just throw them in the corner like I did just now. But they are so good for cutting. Number 3 on the list are Glaze Books. Glaze Books are fantastic, especially for intermediate potters. Now myself, I have a playlist of where I test glazes out for you. I review glazes, a lot of Amico glazes. I give you guys glaze recipes, my Discord does that. Nothing can compare to the Glaze Books that you could get your potter friend, especially if they're learning how to make their own glaze. Learning how to make your own glaze and controlling your glaze and the colors and the way it melts and stability of it on certain clay bodies is such a gift to a potter that you pretty much just release them from the slavery of having to buy bottled glazes all the time. Or, big brain, you can learn how to make your own glazes. If you have a friend that's going through the steps of learning how to make their own glazes, getting them just one glaze book, you can tell I've been using the crap out of it because there's a bunch of sticky notes in. Just getting them one glaze book will give them a ton of glazes. Each and every one of these little pictures right here is an individual glaze with an individual recipe. Ma'am, will you please behave?
No.
And it's not like there's just one of these. I have like 7 of these in my studio, and every single page has a glaze for a different type of kiln atmosphere and a different color. You should really consider either buying one of these for yourself or getting your potter friend one of these for Christmas. They would really appreciate it, especially if they're an intermediate potter and they're starting to learn how to play with glazes. Number 4 on the list is kind of special. Somewhere along the line of making too much pottery, you're gonna start to sell your own work. And in selling your own work, people are gonna look for craft, that cream, that Michelle Pfeiffer, that white gold. So they're gonna start to kind of notice what you do with your craft. These little things matter, and one of these little things is sanding down your pots. Now on the podcast, Mud Peddlers, where me and Lindsay and Dylan kind of talk about this sort of thing, we suggest getting sandpaper and just grinding down your pots. But every single sandpaper kind of dies after a while because it's sandpaper. It only has a certain life before it dies. But it turns out that Diamond Core actually sells a scrub pad that has little microcrystals in it that lasts way longer than any sandpaper that you will ever buy. Granted, they're pretty expensive, but think about it. You can either buy one of these every 3 months because you have to sand down every single pot you ever made to make sure you don't scratch Graham's table. Or you can just buy one Diamond Core scrub pad and that'll last you for like, I think Lindsay's is lasting about 4 years now and it still hasn't gone down in quality at all. Ma'am, what is going on over there?
I don't know.
This is something that we haven't really gone through on the channel yet, is sanding down your pots for the craft's sake, but really, after you're done making your pottery, if you plan on selling it or even giving it as a gift, just take a piece of sandpaper, put the bottom of the pot there where the foot would be, and just sand it down for literally 5 seconds. It makes a world of difference. But if you don't want to go and buy a bunch of packets of these,
They have an avocado pottery trimming tool.
an avocado one,
Yeah.
that's hilarious. So if you guys don't know, the trim tool that usually comes in your beginner package, or the ones that like Kemper sell, they're called pear trim tools because clearly they're shaped like a pear. Diamond Core Tools has one that's an avocado shaped one. You know, because they couldn't call it pear trim tool. The ones that are sold separately are gonna run you about 35 to 40 bucks, but the ones that come in like a giant pack, so you could buy them for multiple people or you could just never have to buy one of these again, will cost you around $180 to $200. Granted, I don't know why you would ever need like more than 2 of these things for your entire lifetime because they're literally made with diamonds and they last forever. And the 5th and final thing that I will suggest as a gift to your potter friend this Christmas is their own personal signature stamp. You can very easily ask them how they sign their name, ask for a copy of it, ask them to write it down on a piece of paper, take a picture of it, and send it into a website called rubberstamps.com. This place will make little tiny stamps just like this that will end up making a duplicate stamp of whatever they drew you. This is fantastic because now instead of turning pencils and pens and pin tools upside down and signing the bottom of their stuff and grabbing everywhere, you can very easily just take a little piece of clay and sign it just like I do my pots. It's super clean, it looks very professional, and the gift is extra personal, not to mention it's probably gonna cost you less than $20 to get this. It's the gift that really had intention behind it. It's not a $200 set of Diamond Core Scrubby Bubbies from Diamond Core Tools.
Scrubby bubbies.
Scrubby Bubbies is a word.
Scrubby bubbies is a word.
Thank you, ma'am.
You heard it here.
You heard it here first. No other channel. There's probably a couple other channels.
I'm sure ones with children.
Not here. The reason that I made this the number 5 gift is because it's so personal and no one ever thinks about it. No one ever thinks like just going up to your potter friend and saying, hey, what's your pottery signature? But in potter culture or ceramic art culture in general, it's such a good thing to sign your work. Almost all of us come up with or make or kind of fabricate this signature thing, and it doesn't even have to be your initials. I'm sure there's a couple potters who will tell you in the comments below, you don't just like sign your initials on your pottery. Some people do symbols like I do, some people just do the first letter of their name, some people get their name and like squish it together into like this weird algorithmic thing. Whatever it is, you can go to rubberstamps.com, send them a picture, and they'll make a stamp for it. You can put it in clay, take that little piece of clay off, and put it right on your pottery. When it sticks, it combines together in the kiln, and now you have a professional looking stamp and signature on your pottery. And you know what? It's only like 20 bucks. It wasn't that bad. They ship it to you, it's real nice. I'm not sponsored by nobody. Rubberstamps.com ain't sponsoring me. Diamond Core Tools ain't sponsoring me. Okay? I just know what's good. Give me that hand.
This is mine.
Give me that hand. Let me kiss it. I love you. Honorable mentions, or at least number 6 on the list, I guess, out of the list of 1 through 5, to a plaster mold. If you have the ability, or you're a crafter yourself, and you have the ability to make someone that you love who is a ceramic artist a plaster mold, they're super absorbent and they serve as a wedging table, whether it's on an actual table or on the ground. I have one myself. I even made an episode describing how you could recycle a lot of your used clay and trimmings with this plaster mold. This way, instead of going out and buying clay, you basically made a mold for this person, or just bought one to be honest with you, and saved them a bunch of money on clay. This way they don't have to go through all that junk of driving somewhere. And especially now in the beer sickness 2020 world, it's not like you're wanting to leave the house all the time to go get some clay at a store and wear a mask, and you could just stay inside and recycle your own clay. I show you how to do it in a video up here. I'll link it down below for you. But the main key is that you're probably gonna need some type of plaster mold. They're inexpensive, they're very easy to make, and if you make one for your potter friend, they're probably gonna love you long time. Love you a real long time. Extra long time. What else can you think of? Can I have my hand back this century?
No.
Okay, alright, cool. I guess that's just yours now. Well, thank you, Dirty Potters, for joining me today. If you'd like to see any of my work or you like this type of content, the subscribe button and all the links are down below. If you were having trouble finding what you want to buy your Potter friend for Christmas or your dirty little Potter for Christmas, go ahead and make sure to pay real good attention to this list. I will put a bunch of links down below to the Diamond Core Tools website so that way you can check their stuff out. I'll put links to my website. I'll put links to where you can maybe figure out how to make a plaster mold. I'll put as many links as I can down there to help you out with all of these gifts, including the stamps.com one that I entered. Or, you know, if you're a potter yourself and you want to just like passively aggressively give this to your significant other so that, you know, maybe they take something from this list.
Not even passive aggressively. I've been asking what you want for Christmas for months.
Yeah, but I'm not that spoiled.
You're useless.
You could just like slide this straight into their DMs and they'll pick something off the list and it'd be super easy because I put all the links down below.
You're like, oh baby, look at these things.
Oh my god, look, my favorite Potter made a YouTube video and I can very easily overpower you. I don't know why I'm struggling so hard. I'm super ticklish, I'm so sorry. No matter how you decide to use this list, thank you, Dirty Potters, for joining me today. And say goodbye to the Queen. She doesn't come in many videos very often, but she's here making the video just like last year. So I will also link this episode down below. There's gonna be so many links down below this year. I'm gonna try and like put everything in there for them. Hopefully you have a fantastic Christmas, and I will see you, Dirty Potters, next week.
Thank you for your patronage.
Many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you.
It'd be too hot for me to eat. Okay.